Hello, fellow hitchhikers. I've had quite a few people that are becoming more and more interested in Web 3.0, so I want to make a short little video that goes from how to on-ramp to get Metamask, get some ETH, and check out a couple websites like Axie Infinity or CryptoKitties or some of these kind of things. So hopefully this is a short little video, but very helpful, just to share with your friends, or I can share with my friends on how to do this. So today I'm going to use Newton as the Canadian on-ramp, and the reason I'm going with Newton instead of ShakePay is Newton does not have a minimum withdrawal on the ETH, and I'm finding that to be quite a barrier now that ETH has gone up so high in value. So ShakePay I do like if a person's going to commit to that daily shake, but the spread is larger, now there's minimums to withdraw, and Newton is becoming much more of my preferred one to use. It doesn't have the easiest interface, but it works. A person can figure it out. So first off, you're going to want to use a referral. If you want to use mine, I'll post it down on the link below. You can see it. I have it up here in the web address. It's and that will give you the free $25 when you do your first transaction over 100. So either way, you'll set that up in Newton. It will take a little bit. It's KYC, so it's like opening a bank account to prevent money laundering. So you have to provide driver's license or passport or something like that. Prove your identity, picture of yourself. It goes pretty smooth. It goes pretty quick. Sometimes there's bottlenecks because there's so many people wanting to join and start using Web 3.0. But there you go. So use a referral link, you get to Newton. Once you are in and you have your account, then you're able to start making a deposit. So you can see I have no money in here and I want to add some funds. So I'm going to click the add funds, and they have an app. You can do this all within the app as well. Today I'm using the a computer because I want to show Web 3.0 from a desktop perspective, but you can do all this on the phone as well. So we're going to do it via an e-transfer, and I'll choose $100. Now Newton is no fee. There's no fees anywhere along the way. The only way they make their money is on the spread, so they charge a little bit more, very small relative to most of the other competition. They charge a little bit more for the purchase of the ETH than if you're able to get it on the open market, but you can't get it on the open market until you have crypto in the currency in the system. So $100, and it's going to send me an email. I quite like this way. Most of the other apps require you to copy paste over all the information into your bank for making your e-transfer, whereas Newton sends you an email that you just simply have to click. So I'll jump over to my email. So I receive an email. All I have to do is click the link and go through the process with my bank and make the deposit. There we go. We can see the funds arrived very fast, about 10-15 minutes, and it was there from the e-transfer. I do like that all you have to do is click the link in the email and it autofills everything for your bank to do the transfer. That is a nice feature. Okay, so now I have it as Canadian funds, and so I need to turn this into ETH. Pretty much everything Web 3.0 is running on ETH, or what they call a side chain, where depending on what you're trying to do. So there's engine tokens, or you move things into loopring, and maybe I'll make some videos on some of those other opportunities. But what we're looking at is, you're on a website, you want to run a MetaMask, and you want to access something. ETH is currently the main backbone of this next generation of the internet. So I'm going to hit the double arrows to trade. I'll hit maximum of my Canadian, choose this drop down, get Ether. Oh, I have to hit maximum again. So I'm going to get 0.0275 ETH. And just to put this in perspective, a lot of, several like the other websites are requiring you to have a minimum of 0.1 ETH. So 400 some odd dollars worth of ETH in order to do a transfer. ShakePay does pay the transaction fee. And some of the other websites or on-ramps like BitBuy and whatnot, they're charging 0.01 ETH. So they're charging like $30, $40 to do a transfer. So again, this is why I like Newton, the low fees. So view trade, buy the ETH. And if this was your first time doing this, with the referral link, you get a bonus $25 just for doing that. Okay, you'll notice that it is It's gone down a little bit, and that's because of the spread. You buy at a slightly higher price than you'd be able to sell. It's a very small spread on Newton, but it is there. So now ETH is going up right now like crazy. So I've already, it's already gone up that much in value. It looks like it's at $3,600. When I started a year ago in all of this, it was sitting around $350, $300. So it's more than 10 times in value. Okay, so now I'm going to send this to Metamask. So I'll go into a guest profile here. Show you what this looks like. So you're going to go Metamask extension, and then it won't allow me because I'm in guest mode, but you can click add to Chrome. And when you go to add it to Chrome, it's going to lead you through a little bit of a process to create a seed phrase, or give you a seed phrase. That seed phrase, those 12 words, you must keep in an incredibly safe, secure, non-losable way. So there is no recover my password. There is no recovering it when it comes to Web 3.0 and blockchain. Those 12 words are your access to all of your assets that you have tied to the blockchain, and with it you can buy things, you can sell things, you can do whatever you need to do. And if you lose your computer, if you lose anything you want, you can grab a cell phone, you open up a wallet, they're called a crypto wallet, and whether it's Atomic or Exodus, whatever, name your wallet, you type in those 12 words and you'll be able to see all of your digital assets. And you'll be able to trade them, move them to another wallet, do whatever you want with them. So a lot of scams out there, a lot of phishing scams. You'll get this thing that looks like it's from the company that you're working with, or the decentralized entity that you're working with, and it'll be like, hey, we're tech support, we can help you. Just need to fill out this form. What are your 12-word seed phrase? That way I can help you. No, that's so they can steal all your stuff. So keep those 12 words safe, secure, and do not lose them, because if you lose them, you can't recover any of your digital assets. Okay, so you'll go to the Metamask extension, you'll add it to Chrome, you'll follow the process, and you will get an extension that looks like this. And it will have a password. The password is not, doesn't actually matter. Like if I forgot this password, I could just remove the Metamask extension. I could be like, just remove, and then I could bring it back in with the seed phrase and create a new password. So it's a seed phrase that matters. So in here, I have my public address. Let's go to expanded view. If you were to if you had your Newton up on your phone, you could scan this QR code and it would automatically type in my address here, and you could send me money if you want. This is like a house address, a public address. It doesn't need to be private. Anyone can know your house address, and if they want to drive by and throw money at your house, that's fine. You can pick it all up and then you're good to go. So it's your private key. Never ever give someone your private key. Your private key is just for you in order to move or to access your digital assets on a different wallet, or to I do like to have multiple wallets in my MetaMask for some of my scholars and whatnot. So I'll bring them in with the private key, so I can add more wallets into MetaMask. But for you, you just want one wallet. I can copy this. I look at the first couple letters. It starts with 0x, which means it's an ETH address. A4 ends with FC. I'm going to jump back over to Newton. That the price is just going up. So now I'm going to withdraw these funds to a crypto wallet, and I'm going to take all of this ETH, and I could scan a QR code like I was just showing you, or I could paste the address. Starts with A4, ends in FC. It is the correct address. Always double check that. I don't know why people are making a lot of errors. You hear this over and over. They'll go somewhere and they'll find some contract address, or they'll do some convoluted thing. No. You paste the address of the wallet that you're trying to send it to, and double check that the first couple letters and last couple letters make sense. Now, what I like about Newton is they cover up to $5 of the network fee. If there's a lot of congestion on the network and it's going to be more expensive than $5, you pay the difference. So they don't have any limits on how much you're withdrawing. So that's great. There we go. So now that will sometimes take a little while. depending on how congested the network is and how much you've paid for the price of gas. I will explain that comment about the gas. So the way it works is the Ethereum network is a whole lot of computers that are connected together around the world, decentralized. And they use the proof of work concept, similar to Bitcoin. That network of computers that's keeping track of all of these transactions can only do about 10 to 15 transactions a second. So it's quite slow on a global scale. When I started a year ago, that was no problem. You know, it was a few pennies. It was, I don't know, 10 cents, 20 cents to do a transaction. It was very cheap and it was pretty much instant. More and more and more people are coming on, and people are wanting to use Web 3.0. People are wanting to use this network, and it's creating a lot of congestion. And like gas for your car, if the price of gas is really expensive, you're less inclined to use it, or you really have to think about what it is you're doing to use the gas. You also need a certain amount of gas to go a certain distance. So when you're looking at doing transactions in Metamask and so on, and you have to pay the gas, there are two variables: the price of gas and how much gas. Never, ever, ever change how much gas you're going to use. You're not going to make it to your end destination. You're going to run out of gas. The transaction is going to fail. But you can say, I'm not doing this until the price is low. And so I recommend having an Ether gas price extension on your web browser, so you can kind of monitor it. This seems a little off. That seems too low. Something's wrong here. 42, 35, that seems more like a reasonable price right now for the price of gas, which is quite a lot actually. When I first started, gas was usually around 2 or 3 gwei. So anyways, be aware of that. Let's hop over here and see if this has arrived. There it is. So there's more than $100 there in ETH because I already had the balance, but it has arrived. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you why would I do that. So if I go to a website like Axie Infinity, this is an absolute brilliant concept. I'm so excited to be part of this. If you are looking for a video game that is the future, this is the next Pokemon. It's just growing and growing and growing and adding features. There's thousands of people that are joining it pretty much every week now to play this game. By Christmas time comes, people are going to be wanting to get stuffies and so on. Like, this is just absolutely exploding, and it's a play and earn kind of game. You can earn SLP that you can use inside the game in order to create more Axies to do things, or you can sell that to other people that want to go into the game and use the SLP. So some people, this is their livelihood. They play this video game and they're making good money. Other people, they're just having tons of fun doing this. So let's say I want to buy a couple Axies. There was just a big thing that happened where, you know how I was talking about the price of gas on the Ethereum network is so expensive. So Sky Mavis, that runs Axie Infinity, and a few other venture capitals, they've created a side chain. So they're running a second blockchain, and they've moved all of these assets over to that. So it's somewhat centralized. However, the cost of doing transactions is pretty much nothing now. So the price on these Axies, good chance they're going to come down. It just happened last week, and there's only 4,904 Axies on here. We need to get that to like 500,000 Axies over the next couple of weeks. So people are going to be breeding, trying to get these all out there. But if I wanted to log in, I can log in with my Metamask. And this is something you'll see on many websites. Log in with Metamask, and I have to hit sign. So I'll sign, and I am in with my Metamask. Just like that, I have created a profile, so it has my email and those kind of things. But my Metamask is what connects me to this this website. And in my Metamask, I don't just have ETH. I also have other things. I can have NFTs like the Axies. Now, if you decide to go into Axie Infinity, you're also going to create a Ronin wallet. This is that side blockchain that things are going to be moved over to, and that way you can buy and sell and breed and play and not have all those gas fees. So because they're using this side chain, I actually have to take my ETH that I have in the Metamask wallet and bring it over to this Ronin wallet. So I have the Ronin extension on here already installed. Similar to Metamask, you go through a process, you get a seed phrase, a 12-word seed phrase. You can technically use the exact same 12-word seed phrase that you used for your Metamask and just import, but don't be confused. It's a different blockchain, so you're not going to see the same funds that you have. You're just using the same seed phrase to create the wallet. They recommend you just allow it to generate a new seed phrase. It's more secure that way. That way, if somebody does hack your MetaMask seed phrase, they don't have access to your Ronin blockchain. So anyways, I'll put in my password. So on this Ronin blockchain, which is like the Ethereum network, but it's a side chain, I have some ETH in there already. I have some Axie in there. I bought these things at crazy low prices. They've just gone up in value, but those are for my in-game playing. So let's say I didn't have anything in there though. I needed to send it over. Well, what I'm going to do is deposit to Ronin. And I'm going to deposit that 0.0, I think it was 27 or something like that, that we had brought over from Newton. And I will confirm this. And you'll see it's going to trigger a transaction here. And it's saying, hey, do you want to move this ETH over? It's going to cost gas. Remember that road trip analogy that I gave? And in this situation here, it's going to cost $23 in gas. That's because of the current price of gas. Now, that's a lot more than the cost of gas was earlier to move the ETH into the MetaMask. And the reason is these smart contracts is what they're called. In order to do things on this next generation of the internet, you have these smart contracts. You can imagine if I had bought some tickets to a game, some sort of big game I was going to go see. I had these digital tickets on my phone. I realize I'm not going to need them and I'm going to sell them. I could sell them to you. Now, how you need some confidence, though, that these aren't fake tickets, that these are somehow real. Well, when it's tied to the blockchain, it can be verifiable as an actual ticket. And we can set up a smart contract such that the app on my phone, the app on your phone, we can you can send me money, I can send you the tickets. Neither one of us will get it until we've both completed whatever needs to happen, and you'll get the tickets, I'll get the money. And what's interesting is because it's tied to the blockchain, the original creator, whether it's a piece of art or the team that owns the tickets that originally sold them, they can set in a cut of all those transactions. So anytime a person resells it, and especially if the ticket prices go way up, then the original creator of that piece of art or tickets or whatever will get a portion of those sales. It's just brilliant. It's where things are going. So some smart contracts are a lot more complicated than just moving funds. And because this is going into the Ronin network and the video game and all that kind of stuff, it's a much more complicated smart contract. So I could set my gas, I could change advanced. I would never change the amount of gas, but I could change the price of gas that I'm willing to pay, and that'll lower the transaction fee. But it might mean it's going to sit there for a couple days before it gets processed. So generally, I would say don't go into advanced. You just click slow. Now, because I already have lots of ETH in there, normally, like to get into Axie Infinity, I would recommend bring over $600, $700, $800 right now worth of ETH, maybe even like 0.5 ETH to give yourself some room to buy some Axies. You're going to want at least 4 to maybe get into some land. If you want to get into land, you're going to have to bring in $5,000 or $6,000 worth of ETH. So anyways, $100 wouldn't be enough to get into Axie Infinity right now. Price may come down. It was enough back in November. So I'm going to hit close on this and reject this transaction just because it's not worth it. I'm only sending $100 and it's costing me $23 to move that over. But if I had hit confirm, then it would go ahead and be in the queue, and I'd have the WETH, and that would be in my Ronin wallet. Let's look at a couple other things. So let's jump over to CryptoKitties because that's maybe a little bit more simple of an example. And I actually don't own any CryptoKitties, but you can see I'm on here. This is one of the first big mainstream kind of playable, you could breed these kitties, you could make these kitties and do stuff with them. Let's take a look. How much is this one here? $42, $29. I don't know what kind of features a person's going to look at, but let's just pick. Sure, let's go with that one. So I can see I can buy it for 0.01 ETH, which is currently $30 US. I just don't understand how these other on-ramps are charging 0.01 ETH to send. Like BitBuy, that's just robbery. Anyway, so I can hit buy with ETH. It'll launch my MetaMask. Now, I don't understand why this is happening to me on CryptoKitties. It keeps doing this. It's saying the gas fee is going to be $1,700. There's something wrong. If I go into Edit, Advanced, yeah, why is it doing this? There's something going on with the CryptoKitties. If you know why it's doing this for me, please comment down below. I need to do a little bit more digging on this here as to what's going on with this gas on CryptoKitties, because that does not make any sense. Maybe it won't do that for you though. Maybe it's something that I've got set up on my site. But anyways, you could then buy this CryptoKitty and it would be added into your wallet. Or perhaps you want to do something different, like you want to play golf, but you want to have a golf game that has you own the digital assets. So I can come into a website like this, Blockleak Golf, and I can have it connected to my wallet, my MetaMask wallet, and I mean, some of these golfers are just crazy expensive. That's 1.2 ETH, so like a $4,000 golfer. But I can, search around, find some low-cost ones. Maybe I sort low to high, all golfers based on price. Here's one here, 0.08 ETH. And I could try this golfer out. I could play this game, and the earnings can be sold. I can level up my golfer and train them, sell the golfers. So there's all sorts of open economy, play and earn games that are out here within the Web 3.0. There's decentralized finance, so I can go into liquidity pools. You can watch some of my other videos about that. The main thing is, once you have ETH and you have the MetaMask extension or whatever extension you want to use, a whole realm of Web 3.0 websites open up to you, and you can start owning your digital assets. You can start playing video games and doing those kind of things. I would caution on the speculation kind of side, like buying and selling tokens, because that opens up a whole tax conversation, and I prefer to do that in the Wealth Simple in a tax-free savings account. So you can watch that video if you want to look at the buying and selling and how to sort of profit without the taxes. But or use an exchange and get into swing trading and pay the capital gains and enjoy it. I prefer to stay on the sort of work side of things, where I'm playing video games and checking out these other sites. Anyways, it will open up a whole new realm of the internet to you simply by using an on-ramp, buy some ETH, get the MetaMask extension, put some ETH on there, and start exploring. The next year ahead is going to be unbelievable. There's lots of improvements. The UI is going to become very easy for anyone to join. Of course, they'll connect it to credit cards, so on-ramping will be easy. By next summer, this will be mainstream. Okay, in the meantime, keep track of your towels, and remember, do not panic.